And for the side of Team Saudi Arabia,
No
yes,
respect to the Atlas.
a lot of solo plays, but at the same time, there's not much synergy. Only the real world manipulation into that penalty zone.
Honestly, there is a lot more of the counter-engage that we want to see from the side of Saudi Arabia, right? As much as possible, they want to also kind of see where Oman is going to be targeting, how they are going to be looking at things, because the main point here is that they want the glue to be the main person, the main tank, the main vanguard. Well, in the meantime, allowing the Terizla, because Terizla does have the range and mobility to reach over to the back line, such as the Irithel as well as the Faramis. They want to be slightly away from the dive-centric team from the side of Oman.
Yeah, this is why the Faram is still not very favored in that early stage of the game, right? Not having that clear speed available, already brought down, chunked down to extremely low. Karaba will be expanding a flicker here for Al Fadi's Purify. And for that mid lane, I would say currently still looking good for the side of Team Saudi Arabia in just terms of clear speed alone. And Glue is just going to have a better level 1 to 3 ratio of just trying to zone the Atlas out.
What else are we going to be looking out for? Like in the terms of XP lane as well as gold lane, I believe that the lane priorities is going to be super important here.
Yeah, lane priority, not as much, I would say. I would say jungle priority would be much more prioritized here, right?
Okay.
Now that you see El Breaky even finding that level 3 way ahead of El Sulaimani. El Sulaimani has to catch up in terms of the clear speed. Will not have the glue to be available to help him for that level 1 to 3, because the Faramis and the Atlas, you expect him to keep him there as much as possible. Now, that first objective take is going to be very important for both teams because they're running utility jungles as well.
We do have El Alawi that managed to hit level 4 at this point in time. Well, Al-Khani is not quite there, so allowing the Yuzhong to actually leave lane a lot earlier than Terizla is going to help a lot. They do have information at the very least that Team Oman, they have 4 members that's going to be cooped up down to the bottom lane. So they're going to be starting things out real quickly as the RWM is just going to be popping right out while Al Sulaimani picks up the kill onto the turtle. The dragon doesn't really seem to do too well when in the meantime penalty zone lands onto 3. Jumping right on top of Al Alawi brings him down right after the Violet Requiem. As now Team Saudi Arabia, they are putting up a really good fight as they manage to find another kill down onto Al Fadi. And at this point in time, it's really difficult because we're looking at a 2-for-1 trade.
Yeah, this is the segmented team fight that Saudi Arabia have been looking for. Spirit Destruction does land, but not going to be able to jump in here. El Rashidi does see the chance, but not going to jump into Avaxia, into that enemy jungle. But this is the level spike that we need to see out of the Atlas. He was not level 4. Does use the flicker, but did not have that Fatal Links available, right? So in terms of that 5v5, Team Oman are very ultimate reliant in terms of you need to have that Black Dragon form. You need to have Fatal Links to make the team fight work. Meanwhile, for Saudi Arabia, with the Guinevere, what it gives them is the chance to just choose and pick whichever fight that they wish to, and on whatever battlefield. So it really favors them in terms of just taking these, you know, skirmish fights when there's not much going on in the map.
So at this point in time, the main thing that we kind of want to look out for is going to be a matchup between the Romans. How exactly are they wanting to start a team fight, for example? We do have Team Saudi Arabia that actually committed quite a bit over to that pickoff, which unfortunately did not do too well. But fortunately, it's just the resource use is only ultimates, not much of flickers.
Yeah, but still, macro advantage going the way of Saudi Arabia. They've been doing a great job of keeping the map pressure up so far. 2,000 gold advantage currently at 4 minutes into the game. And right now, we do have a bit of skirmish going on, but nothing much is going to result from a Terizla and also a Yuzhong going up against each other. But wait a minute.
That's not great coming in from a Yuzhong right there. But regardless, that is going to be Al-Khani that's close to level 8, and losing out the Yuzhong right before the turtle is going to be detrimental to the macro management for the team of for the side of Team Oman. As such, Team Oman, they still kind of stuck around a little bit. As such, that is going to be a grand punish for them. They should already know that they are unable to win in that fight. So right now, Team Saudi Arabia, they will make full use of the very fact that the team from Team Oman is so close. They jump in, takes 2 men down, even dove down onto the top lane turret, now putting a lot of damage over to El Breaky and bringing down the jungle. jungler. In fact, for Alfadi, he still went in, and they are literally going 1-for-1-for-1, literally as solo heroes for their own team.
Not looking good for the side of Team Oman. That was still 5 minutes into the game. That was a Petrify available on El Alawi, and he has not found a chance to use it in that first 5 minutes of the game. We saw that 1v1 skirmish versus Alcarni. That might have been his ego just talking to him. And now looking at the team fight as well, right? Just does not favor their positioning at all. They were caught behind the turret, and they could have easily just taken that dive. And for Team Saudi Arabia, with the farm that they have, they're going to take all the dives that they can from now on.
It's really tough for Team Oman right now, especially since they are a dive comp. As much as possible, they want to jump over the back lines. However, they are just losing in quite a lot of aspects right now. They lost the top lane and the bottom lane T1 turret, which will eventually lead up to the T1 turret in the middle lane as well. So a lot of resources will definitely be pushed down to the middle lane. So Team Oman, they are just going to be pushing up all of their resources right here. But the question is, do they have got an advantage enough to block this out?
Yeah, losing that mid-tier turret at that 6 minute mark is not going to be good news at all for Team Oman. They are falling behind. They can't give the space here as it is pop. But now, right now, that real-world manipulation coming through for the side of Team Saudi Arabia, still dominating the battlefield. 3 members already down for the side of Team Oman, and Saudi Arabia continue on that territory. They lose a member, but it does not matter. That Black Dragon form, no use at all.
Yep, a little bit too late for the Black Dragon form, unfortunately. It would be great in the start of things, just so that you will be able to put up some of these shard residue stacks onto everyone, and that will ultimately create a bit of panic. But that doesn't seem too right. Unfortunately, now we go with another Violet Requiem.
Yeah, the jump in coming through from the side of Guinevere. That is just the scary power of the Guinevere, right? It leaks the pool at that early draft. We totally forgot about how oppressive this character is when it comes down to getting these jumps. Now, combined with the stick ability coming out from Karaba, that's just going to be a free engage every single time. They're willing to give Karaba's life into starting these team fights as long as they can get a favorable position.
Indeed. I mean, for the side of Clue, he is the vanguard after all. So as much as possible, if he's able to get a single connect onto the stick, then it's more or less going to be done. You do have got free engagement coming in from Al-Sumayamani or perhaps even from Al-Khani. They have a lot of initiators that will help them kick off a big fight altogether. They don't necessarily have to play for big fights, but it comes down to splitting the fight into two that will eventually help them a lot.
Yeah, Team Oman looking a bit chopped at the moment. 10,000 gold advantage coming in from the side of Team Saudi Arabia, and they're showing their international experience right now. Fatal Links used on one character, and it's not even enough. Karaba just runs away. Patrick Starr, run away, my friend. And now for Team Saudi Arabia, it's more about the map control, right? Securing the advantage, making sure they don't make mistakes here. At Team Oman, they can still potentially catch, but they don't have that control factor at all. They don't have a solo control.
Yep. Unfortunately, I really like Team Oman's draft. However, it's more about the execution that they were not able to kind of hold down the fort. The game was great and all until I believe 3 minutes in, when they started to lose a lot more lead by the minute. And understandably for Team Saudi Arabia, they took control from that point on, and they will consistently be able to ensure that their gameplay is flawless enough to hold up these kind of momentum, putting them at 11,000 gold lead at 8 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. This is uncalled for.
Yeah, I mean, very masterfully drafted from the side of Team Saudi Arabia, just securing that early game advantage, having that Eve glue into Guinevere. That is already your core combo, right? Your EXP lane at that point, it can be whatever. Your gold lane at that point, as long as it can secure gold lane and get that late game through, you have the Claude, you have the Carry. No, Carry was banned out. You had the Moskov. There was a lot of choices because for Team Oman, they went for Irithel so early on into the draft. And that's just not going to be a good time, especially into an enemy glue and also a Eve as well.
Yeah, I do like the mobility from the Irithel, but it's not really the time for the Irithel to pop off as of yet. Going up against a Moskov in the gold lane is more about the skill matchup at that point in time, but it's not going to be super important at that point. But regardless, as we slowly move on over to the Lord that will be marching in from the middle lane, not the best lane for the Lord to be at, but hey, it is what it is, right? They will be able to shove some of these waves on the top and the middle lane to try to sync it up, and it's not too shabby. We do have the Terizla that held on to the top lane, and the Moskov held on to the bottom lane, while everyone just made it to the middle.
Yeah, 10 minutes into the game, not looking good here. Tier 3 turret already under siege here. Black Dragon form has been used in the back line. Roll manipulation just to secure that space, and it will be just a kill from Al Rashidi. Pure destruction misses, but Oman, they have to run away. Team Oman, they're so low as Karaba is just hanging around in the back line with the Lord, and Al Karani just going down right now. But doesn't matter, Al Rashidi still throwing spears from behind as the game ends. And Team Saudi Arabia get first game for themselves.
Indeed. There is a little bit too much of advantage coming in from Team Saudi Arabia.